Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
This episode of Politically Correct is based on my weekend read. Last week was so newsy. You had farmers protesting over the farm laws. You had Rajnikant in Tamil Nadu declaring his plunge into politics. You had municipal corporation elections in Hyderabad where you witnessed a huge surge of the BJP. And then we had MLC elections in Maharashtra and UP. It was so newsy that on the weekend I decided to, I thought of reading something else, away from the news of the day or of the week. And so I laid my hand on The Prince by the Italian philosopher Niccolo Machiavelli. Now it's a pure coincidence that the book happened to be titled The Prince and the author happened to be an Italian. Anyway, so by the time I was through with the book, it just struck me that probably the book might have been written 500 years back. It was written in 1513, but it could be applicable to Rahul Gandhi and his politics even today, 500 years later. Now, there are basically 5 lessons that I could draw from my read on the weekend, the 5 lessons in the book for Rahul Gandhi. I'm not sure whether he would even bother about Machiavelli because the Italian philosopher is supposed to be, or his ideas are supposed to be unscrupulous, immoral, deceitful, and whatever not. That apart, the 5 lessons I could just recall after the read. Let me come to that. Let me start with the chapter on why Machiavelli thought the princes of Italy lost their estates. I'm quoting from the book. Do not let your princes accuse fortune for the loss of their principalities, but rather their own sloth. And these princes hoped that the people, disgusted with the insolence of the conquerors, would recall them. Now, there are 2 parts to this lesson. First is, don't blame your fortune for your losses. Blame your own sloth. A second part is, like those princes who thought that people would be so disgusted with the insolence of the conquerors, in today's context, read Modi or Shah, that they would recall them, that is, the Gandhi family in today's context. That doesn't happen. Come to talk about the sloth. And we saw how a group of 23 congressmen wrote a letter to Sonia Gandhi asking for a full-time party president because nothing is happening in the party. You saw when Hyderabad elections, when top guns of the BJP were campaigning in Hyderabad, JP Nadda, Amit Shah, Yogi Adityanath, Tejaswi Surya, all of them were campaigning in a municipal election in Hyderabad. Where was the Gandhi family? Holidaying in Goa, away from the pollution of Delhi. That's where, if you talk about this sloth mentioned by Machiavelli, suddenly you place Congress somewhere or the Gandhi family somewhere in between. You just wait for things to happen. Coming to the second part, that is, the people would be so disgusted with what Machiavelli calls conquerors or today's rulers that they would like to recall the other one. That is the Gandhi family. That does not happen. Come to the second lesson that Rahul Gandhi can draw from this book. Now, Machiavelli says, a prince ought to have no other aim or thought, nor select anything else for his study than war and its rules and discipline. Now, replace war with the politics. And what comes out of it? That a prince or a ruler should have nothing else in his mind when he studies. He has to study only war or politics, its rules and its disciplines. Only recently we heard what Obama had to write about Rahul Gandhi, that how he seemed to lack the aptitude or the passion to master the subject, that is politics. We heard Sharad Pawar talking about the lack of consistency in Rahul Gandhi. You talk to Congress people, they would also admit, or they actually talk about it very frankly when you are talking in private, that he lacks that interest in politics. So when Machiavelli is talking about total focus on war, that is politics, you do not really see Rahul Gandhi doing that. And that's a big minus. So that's why I call it the second lesson for him. Second lesson for Rahul Gandhi, if he wishes to draw from this book. Now, a leader, for instance, if you're a leader, you cannot have your weekend ops. You cannot have this, what you have in UK, working directive, that you cannot have just a 40 hours a week kind of a work schedule. You cannot take your weekends, you cannot take your medical leaves, or I won't even go to medical leaves, usually your casual leaves, or say your summer and winter vacations, even spring breaks, for instance. You cannot be doing all that. You have to be a 24/7 politician. And that's what Machiavelli is talking about when he's trying to analyze the reason for these princes who had lost the battles. Coming to the third lesson that Machiavelli's book offers for Rahul Gandhi, again I'm quoting from the book. The first opinion that one forms of a prince and of his understanding is by observing the men around him. When they are capable and faithful, he may always be considered wise. How do you judge a leader? What he says, by the people who surround that leader. Now look at the people Rahul Gandhi has surrounded himself with. You have somebody like K.C. Venugopal, who is very close to the Congress leader. Venugopal happens to be the AICC General Secretary organization. It's a very powerful position he is holding in the party. What's his background? In 2019 Lok Sabha election, he chose not to defend his seat, that is Alappuzha in Kerala. He chose not to contest, and the Congress finally lost that seat. And he is the most powerful person in Rahul Gandhi's team today. Then you have somebody like Randeep Surjewala, who lost his last 2 assembly elections. And yet Rahul entrusted him with the party's election preparations in Bihar, and we know what happened. Come to another person, say Rajiv Satav. He was an MP from Maharashtra. He also refused to defend his seat. Congress lost that seat also in 2019 election. Then let's talk about some others, say Sandeep Singh, for instance. He is a former JNU Students' Union leader. Now his claim to fame was that he led the students to show black flag to then Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh when he visited the campus. Now, this is the background of the people, and these are the people who are playing the most important role in Rahul Gandhi's team today. And that's when you see what lessons Rahul Gandhi can draw from this, when Machiavelli is talking about you judge a leader by observing the men around him. Coming to the fourth lesson from the book, Machiavelli says, there never was a new prince who has disarmed his subjects. When he has found him disarmed, he has always armed them, because by arming them, those arms become yours. What has Rahul Gandhi or the Gandhi family done to the so-called G23? Now, if they have some issues, if they are not very happy with what is happening with the party or with the state of affairs in the party, they write to you. Your response doesn't have to be that, okay, fine, just sideline them. So what has happened? Out of these 23, some of them, like say somebody like Shashi Tharoor, for instance, or Mukul Wasnik, they have just been given some, say, lollipops, and they have been members of some committees. That's not good enough, because the concerns they raised were never addressed. Instead, you see a consistent attempt by the Congress leadership to sideline the people who decided to flag their concerns about the state of affairs in the Congress to the party leadership. Now, that's not what a leader is supposed to act like. And this is what Machiavelli is saying, that you have to arm your subjects, because those arms will become yours. Coming to the fifth lesson from the book, from the prince, it says, to exercise the intellect, the princes should read histories and study there the actions of illustrious men, to see how they have borne themselves in war, to examine the causes of their victories and defeat, so as to avoid the latter, that is defeat, and imitate the former, that is the way they won. I'm sure you must have closely watched the debate in the Congress. Anybody who praises Narendra Modi, or anybody who tells the Gandhi family that, okay, we should not be attacking Narendra Modi because he is very popular, and attacking him does not serve you any purpose. There is this furious response that person gets from the family, that you guys are so scared of Modi, and we are doing everything, the family is doing everything to attack him, and you do not want to attack Modi. Forget about learning any lessons from the BJP's victories or Modi's victories? What did they do that they managed to win? Or what are they doing to hold on to power? The Congress leadership is not even ready to look at it. They're so dismissive of the BJP or of the principal rival. Incidentally, it's a completely different thing in the BJP. Now, BJP constantly studies where the Congress went wrong and tries to avoid exactly that. But then when you talk about the Gandhi family, probably I remember a few years back, Rahul Gandhi had said, if India is a computer, the Congress is the default program. Unfortunately, under Modi and Shah, India is not the computer that Rahul Gandhi thought it was, and where the Congress would be the default program. That's not the case. To end this, I really wonder if Machiavelli were alive today, or if he were to write his book, knowing the Gandhi family and its politics, would he write the same? Well, I think he would. He would just bring out a new edition of the same book with the same conclusions. Thank you.